In this edition of the Annals, my co-author Duke Hahn and I proposed the concept of age-associated financial vulnerability, or AAFV. We define age-associated financial vulnerability as a pattern of financial behavior in an older adult which would place him or her at increased risk for a dramatic change in quality of life or lifestyle, and that's inconsistent with previous patterns of financial decision-making in young adult life. Rather than me recount a patient's story of age-associated financial vulnerability, I'll let a patient do it himself. Mr. W was a blue-collar retiree in his 80s when he was befriended by a financial advisor. Instead of investing his money in a variety of financial instruments, she deposited his checks directly into her bank account, where it funded a lavish lifestyle for a number of years. He was essentially wiped out. In the following deposition conducted by my colleague Paige Ulrey, a prosecutor from Seattle, Mr. W recounts the experience.
This is State's Exhibit number 9. Can you take a look at that?
Oh, this is for different amount. I never, 2008, April, didn't, no, I didn't write it. I didn't write this.
Can you tell us how you've been affected by what happened to you?
Well, of course, it was a terrible shock to me because I trusted her, and it was really a disaster to me because then I started worrying about how I'm going to make my living or what will happen to me. So I didn't really want to think much about it.
Fortunately, this story has a happy ending. The woman was convicted, is in jail, and the parent company returned the retirement savings to Mr. W. Most stories of age-associated financial vulnerability don't end this way. They end with a destitute older adult. Age-associated financial vulnerability is a public health crisis and a crisis for patients and families who experience it. I've seen that clip a dozen times, and as a geriatrician, it's still difficult for me to watch. Please think about financially vulnerable elders in your care of older adults. Thank you.